Turkish bread.
Yes.
Now, how do you suppose Turkish bread got into Australia? Love Turkish bread. Now, how many of you have gone over and watched I Hate the Cold? We Hate the Cold, what is it? I Hate the Cold. A British fella, overcoming drug addiction, decided he's going to travel right through from, what was it, Thailand, back into the UK on a moped, on a scooter. And you had to go all through all the Middle East, Iraq, Iran, Libya, all those places. And he was met with kindness, open arms, taken into people's homes and fed, as he documented his whole trip. Had no troubles with anybody. Now, I find it almost laughable if it wasn't so double standards and hypocritic to take our firearms away from us. No, I'm not just going to go on about firearms. This goes over everything. To take our firearms away from us, and then send us over to countries where our governments, our Western governments, created enemies for us, and then send us over there over and over and over again to destroy their countries, and then import them into our countries and wonder why we've got problems in our countries. Oh, they know why. It's not. Surely you can't be that stupid that that's an accident. It's intentional, obviously. But they'll take our 22 away and then stick a fully automatic 223 in our hands to commit murder somewhere else. This comes back to the fit and proper again. What's a fit and proper person? Apparently they don't know. I mean, you go to a firearms safety course and then you have to do a test, which the firearms experts said themselves here at Bernie Taper when I done mine. The people that write the test are the same people that write the driver's licence tests. I don't know a damn thing about firearms. We have to go through a damn sight more to get a firearms licence than a cop does, who doesn't actually have a firearms licence, to carry a sidearm in public. But I just think it's pretty rich that someone that the police will accept a statement off the female and just accept it blindly about family violence that never happened, and everyone can tell them it didn't happen, including the kids, but they still go ahead with it. But if I go and do the same thing and it didn't happen, I'd be charged with making a false statement. Do I want her to be charged? No. But gee, I'd love it to be thrown out because it never bloody happened, but that's going to follow me for the rest of my life. Something I didn't do. And I think a lot of blokes are hearing what I'm saying. I think a lot of blokes will be picking up what I'm putting down right here. Now, this goes all over the board, right across the board. Every time a cop decides that they're going to get hands on with you and put handcuffs on you to arrest you, you know they don't have to. They actually start that scenario off purposely to have you on the defensive to make you look bad. They're not obligated to put cuffs on you. They're not obligated to get hands on with you. They can just ask you to get in the car. The only thing they're obligated to do is to make sure you don't bump your head as you get in. But they choose to be assholes in a way that makes you look like you're the antagonist. Have you noticed any government agency you deal with now, anywhere you go, whether it's in a medical place, Centrelink, two dopey fat bastards sitting in there that couldn't run around the desk twice, falling asleep leaning up against the wall for security. Why do they need security? They never used to. They used to have a room full of people who could address your issues and your problems. I don't think it's the people that have the problem. I don't think it's us. Now you go in there and you're surrounded by feminists who will mess you around as long as they can if you're a bloke getting it and you've got the kids. Hence, almost 4 months for me to get on the parenting payment, so I supported 2 kids on job search for nearly 4 months. Lucky I'm the sort of person that thinks ahead, and we had reserves here to live off of, so I didn't fall behind in my rent. Otherwise, my kids would have gone without. I would have gone without for them first. Have we seen the pattern form here? There was a time when, for a junkie, for an addict, and in the past I had to do this, obviously I hide nothing, I'm an open book, where you had to fill out a questionnaire on what drug you was using, how often you used, that sort of stuff, in order to get free needles. And they gave you a pamphlet, a leaflet, opening the door for you to go to a rehab. You left there not only with the needles, but with an open door invitation. Need to go. To turn your life around. Now they just give you needles willy-nilly. I don't see that as much of a virtue, do you? That's just feeding the problem. You see, when you went in and you had to give your name and everything, when you went in and you had to give your details and fill out that questionnaire, it made you think a bit. A little bit of shame would creep in. Don't you jump up there. You'll knock my coffee over. These cats are affectionate to me lately. Always run. Hey, puppy. Yeah, he's just sitting there like you can't see me. Thinks he's John Cena. Slowly over the last 20, 30 years, everything has diminished in quality. Morals have just slipped away. People don't have a care factor. Pride of workmanship's gone out the window. Everybody has a right, but nobody has a responsibility. Except for us. A responsibility to make sure we abide by somebody else's rights when ours are walked all over. We're no longer humans. We're no longer treated as a living soul. We're just a number, an object, a commodity for an economy to ride on the back of. A false economy at that. But if there's one thing that, myself included, all of us so-called licensed gun owners should be hopping up and down about, it's that we didn't create the monsters. We didn't create the enemies for ourselves in this country. Government did. They either caused it or went along with it. And expect us to vote for another party to fix it? No, that's never going to work. Because the party that we're expected to vote for to fix it is creating more monsters for us. They're antagonising the situation. They're pissing off the Muslims. These enemies that we have didn't used to exist. They didn't care until we became a problem to them. Do we need to deport the problem? Yeah. And I think that starts with deporting the people that caused the problem in the first place. I mean, how rich is it for Pauline Hanson? We want our country back. I reckon there's a few blackfellas that have said that over the years. Now, who are you going to blame? The Muslims or the Persians? Because, like, one's an ethnicity, the other one's an ethos, a belief, a faith. I try not to use the word religion because I don't like religion. I don't like religion. I have an ethos. I have a faith. Religion will have me believing that I'm not good enough. It'll have us all believing that we're not good enough all the time. It's a way of beating yourself over the head with a book. People get to a point where they think they've just lost all hope. So they go complete 180 opposite direction. But this is a game that's being played on us. It's religion. They're pitting religions against one another. Just like how they pit races against one another. Races. There's only one race. The human race. mankind. Except we're not treating each other in kind very well, are we? And when it does treat us in kind, we complain about it. See, if you treat someone like shit, expect shit back. Well, our government and bureaucrats and councils and legislatures are treating us like shit. Why are we kowtowing to it? Why? Clearly I'm not unhinged. I put thought into what I'm saying. And it's hard to address it when it's right across the board in a way that doesn't jump around a bit, because it does. And that's how the game's played. It's meant to keep us confused and chasing our ass. Blaming one another. When really all it comes down to is promissory affirmations to the state instead of lawful oath of office to the people. It really does boil down to that key factor. They serve the state, not the people. The state is politics, government, an agenda. They're trying to ram an agenda over us. They're whacking it over us. And you know it. You know it. Deep down, you know it. Majority of people know it, but most people don't understand it, don't comprehend it. Sorry, they don't comprehend it, but they understand it. They're standing under something they don't comprehend. It's too compartmentalised. Every agency has its little job to do, and they don't see how it fits in with the rest of the big picture. Well, those of us who recognise patterns see it. I've seen it forever. Like I've said, I've held the agenda for the 21st century in my own hands. I held it in my hands in the 20th century. I held Agenda 21 in my hands in the 1900s. This is a long play. Club of Rome, founded 1968. Well, that's when it was officially established. You'll find that there's older establishments in America in 1940s, 50s. UniDroit. Look up UniDroit. They're an international bureaucracy that's in control of international revenue. The Bank of International Settlements has more whack than the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. And people think that United Nations is dead. Of course it's not. You know how many different branches of United Nations there are? You've got the Bilderberg Group, World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization. They're playing us for fucking idiots. Playing us for fools. The enemy of the state is running the state. They take your guns and then send you away to another country to murder people you don't know, or to be murdered in their defence. They're defending themselves from terrorists. We're the terrorists. Defence is done on your own territory, on your own grounds, on your own land. If you're on somebody else's land, you're the terrorist. You're the antagonist. And like I say, we're about to get real hungry. We can't defend our families and we can't put meat on the table. Not legally. Poor old farmers are going to start having their cattle rustling will come back. You watch. People will be slitting lambs' throats in the paddocks. You bloody watch. It's a damn sight better than kicking someone's door in for a can of baked beans, isn't it? This only sounds extreme because it is extreme. But things are about to get extreme. Why? Because you let the government do it to us. It's actually on us. This is actually our fault. We let this happen. At some point we're going to have to jack up and say enough's enough. We can switch it off overnight. We just don't go to work anymore. We withdraw all our money from the bank. Yeah, we're not all going to get our money because it's what, 15% of the world's money in physical cash. The rest of it's just ones and zeros on computer screens. They want to change that to something worth absolutely zero that can be switched off on us at any time. A digital currency, tokens, credits. Look around at the infrastructure being built. That's what it is. Marinus Link is for that. That's what Marinus is all about. It's not about giving energy to Victoria. If that's the case, why are they losing, 70% of their agricultural land to energy projects? What do they need all this energy for? And we're about to have a water problem and they're destroying all of our water, cooling down their data centres. And they're going to build more data centres. Somehow, don't you think that maybe we're not part of the equation of the future? We're a nuisance, we're in the way. Us pesky non-billionaires. So even a millionaire is a peasant compared to these people. A millionaire is a peasant. They'll send us all over to each other's countries to kill ourselves and one another. And take our guns away so that we can't defend ourselves. And we can't feed our families. I think it's more along the lines of they know at some point we're going to jack up and they don't want the guns turned on them. That's what I think. I'm not interested in hurting anyone. I think they need to go away. I think they need to go and face the music of the problems they created. We deport all the problems and we stick the politicians on the planes with them. We let the suicide bombers fly the planes. Problem solved. Can we do better? Oh God, yeah. You certainly can't do any worse.